Well guys, it is now time, after all this work, as I still continue on making the tracks. I've spent all day today making this video, as it is now time to announce the 2023 MTWS season. As long as nothing happens, because I'm still working on the tracks, remember, so they still have to all be done, as long as people show up and all that and everything else, this will be the first time since 2014 to 2015 that a season will happen consecutive years. And cannot wait for that. And of course, there's actually going to be some changes this year too, before we announce the schedule, as unlike last year, where we did live all the events in the regular season, we're not going to do that this year. We're going to go back to the original setup from like 2009 to 2015, where some events are live and some are not. Because now I feel more comfortable, especially after filming the Runners-Up Cup and the Championship. I feel more comfortable being able to do this on my own again, and that way I won't have to bug all the drivers from last year like every single week during the season. So it's a win-win for all of us. Now, of course, how are you all going to know about the events that aren't live, besides the MTWS Wiki as I update them? I still plan on one. I might have a channel on the server, for the MTWS server, where it actually shows, I explain what's going on during the event as it happens, like I used to do for the last 2 seasons of MTWS on Twitter, where I would tweet out results. And I'm also planning on at least filming freestyle, so you'll get to see all the exciting freestyle action that happens. So yeah, we're going to do that this year. And as for the live events, outside of the season opener, the season finales, and the Thanksgiving event, the live events have still not been decided yet, and I want to wait until like after I make the tracks first, get them all done, and then decide on what's going to be live, because I still have exactly no idea what's going to be live or not, and I want to get all decided first. And finally, before I reveal the schedule, there was a weird schedule quirk this year that I found out when I was deciding where each truck's going to go this upcoming year. So, the last few seasons, because you know in MTWS, we have equal events, and every truck has an equal chance in each event. They compete in 11 regular season events, and then they compete in the Runners-Up Cup or Championship, depending on how they do. So, that would mean 24 total events, with 22 of them being the regular season. Which means one month, August, would have like 3 events, and then September, October, November, December, one of them would have like 4 events, and the rest would have 5. And that add up to 22. Well, due to the schedule this year, when it came to dates, it turns out that December was going to have 6 events, which ties the most in a month in MTWS. But because of that, there were 25 events, 13 in the regular season, and the Runners-Up Cup and Championship. So that made unequal. And I did not notice until like halfway through making the tracks, because I already made half the tracks for the season already. So I really wasn't going to delete the tracks I just made. So the only option was either remove event during the regular season, or expand it to an extra event. That way it'll be 14 regular season events and the Runners-Up Cup and Championship, to give a total of 26 events. So every truck would have 12 events they compete in, and then the Runners-Up Cup or Championship. So I decided I was going to do that. I was going to add an event in the middle of the season. Later on, of course, like I said, I already did half the tracks, so I wasn't going to delete any of the tracks that I already made. So yeah, we're going to have 2 extra events this year. That wasn't the plan, and I got to make sure to remember that for now on, because I think next year is going to be the exact same thing too when it came to the schedule, so I have to keep an eye on that. So yeah, would have been nice to know it beforehand. Maybe I could have kept it at 12 events, but hey, MTWS is going to have expanded schedule and looked like maybe permanent. We'll have to see on that. Alright guys, now the moment you all been waiting for. It is now time to reveal the schedule for the 2023 MTWS season. So of course, as we start off with our regular season openers, first on the East Coast, as we are heading to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida on August 23rd. As this is going to be our first time in Tampa since November 22nd of 2015. I wanted to go here last year because MTWS has gone to Tampa every single year from 2009 to 2015 in terms of regular season, but It didn't make the cut in the schedule, unfortunately. Right now, stadiums have been have a season event every single year, and Tampa was one of them, but it's not going to be last year. But because of that, we're going there this year, and we are looking forward to start off our regular season there after almost 8 years since we've been here. But that's the East Coast. What about the West Coast season opener? Well, for the first time since December 25th, 2019, MTWS is going to head out to Las Vegas. But we're not going to be in Sam Boyd Stadium. Instead, we're going to be in Allegiant Stadium, making our stadium debut in the stadium. MTWS has only been in Sam Boyd in Vegas, and we're going to finally make our debut here. Oh boy, cannot wait for that to start the regular season on August 23rd. Last year, remember, it was Detroit and Salinas. This year, 2023, is going to be Tampa and Las Vegas. So now let's continue off the schedule. And to wrap up August, we are going to make another stadium debut as we are heading to Philadelphia for the first time since the 2014 East Coast season opener on December 28th of 2014. But that event, of course, was in Lincoln Financial Field. This time around, I decided to do a little different thing this time. I wanted to go to Subaru Park, where I think Philadelphia's MLS team plays instead of the Eagles in the NFL in Lincoln Financial Field. As I'm looking forward to seeing this. Of course, this event is definitely not going to be live because there's only their season openers in August that are going to be live. So be on the lookout during that day on the MTWS Discord and later on YouTube to see the freestyle results. So get ready on August 27th for our debut in Subaru Park and our return to Philadelphia after almost 9 years. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, these regular season events that are not live, their dates are not fully secured yet. As I'm thinking about for the live events this year, I might do them on Saturday instead of doing them on Sunday like I did last year. That way I can watch NFL and all that the next day, not miss any of the action. So all these dates, although they're written up, they might not be set in stone other than the season openers, the season finales, and the Thanksgiving event. So keep that in mind. These dates might not be accurate throughout the rest of the schedule coming up. And they could potentially be moved to a different day. And then we're going to head back down south as we are going to NRG Stadium in Houston. Very early time of the year to go to Houston usually, because usually we went later on in the year. But we are heading back after, remember the incredible Bob style racing we had last year? And freaking Predator winning racing for the first time ever. Oh boy, cannot wait to see what will happen this time around. And then in a strange stadium quirk, we are then going to head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough on September 10th, as this is also a very early time we go on to Foxborough. Usually it's later on in the year. And it's funny because last year we went to Houston and then Foxborough, and then in incredible quirk it happened again, Houston and then Foxborough. Oh boy, cannot wait to see what will happen in Foxborough for our third MTWS event on RR in that stadium. And then we're heading down to the Big Easy as we are heading to Caesars Stadium in New Orleans on September 17th. Another stadium we haven't gone to this early in a very long time, as we saw incredible over and under action, some incredible racing and freestyle moments. How will it be this year coming up? Cannot wait to see. And then we're going to wrap up September as we are going north of the border to Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada, the BC Place. The first time we've gone there since November 29th of 2015, almost 8 years ago. Oh boy, we cannot wait for that, as this is the fourth Canadian city we've gone to, and cannot wait to see what's going to happen here after 8 years away to wrap up September as we now head into October. And we're going to start off October with a place that we went to first time last year and became so popular we're going to go back to it again, as on October 1st, MTWS is going back to Julian with a big open speedway track. Cannot wait to see how big freestyle is going to be and all that. I am so looking forward to that. So on October 1st, we are heading to Julian. And then after that, we are heading on October 8th to the Southern Illinois Center in DuQuoin, Illinois for our city and stadium debut. It's kind of like an arena, a bigger arena. It's not a normal arena, it's a bigger arena like stadium. So, looking forward to that to make our debut there. Our first event in Illinois since Chicago back on December 20th, 2009. After almost 14 years, we're going back to that state. And we're going to make our debut in DuQuoin. Cannot wait to see what MTWS has in store for there. And then we're staying around the same area as this place we went to the season opener last year. This time it's in the middle of the season as we're going to head to Ford Field in Detroit on October 15th of 2023. Man, what a wild season opener was last year when MTWS made its return after all these years. Cannot wait to see what's going to happen in Detroit this year. And then we are going overseas for our international event at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff in the United Kingdom on October 22nd. Our first time there in Cardiff, as the UK will become the first country outside of North America to have more than one event in MTWS. First time in the UK in 10 years. Oh boy, I cannot wait to see what we're going to do there, as I made a unique racing style too somewhat for this event, with a unique take for an obstacle. So be on the lookout for that, as this might be the live event for October, although it's still undecided, as MTWS International Series is going to head to the UK for the first time in 10 years as we make our debut in Cardiff. And then we're going to continue on with the debuts, as we're heading back stateside and heading down to the southwest, as we are going to be heading for the first time ever in Phoenix, Arizona at the Phoenix State Fairgrounds on October 29th. Our city and stadium debut, as I believe this is the first time MTWS is going to be competing in a fairgrounds track. Although we've been here before numerous times with Glendale, which is part of this Phoenix area for the championships. This is the first time we're going to be in Phoenix, and oh boy, I cannot wait to see the results for this event. As a tight arena-like area, can't wait to see what they're going to do, as we are now heading into November. Alright, so we start off November by heading down to Orlando at the Camping World Stadium on November 5th, as this is the latest we've gone to Orlando since, I believe, 2012. So yeah, can't wait to see what's going to happen there. We saw some incredible highlights last year. Cannot wait to see what's going to happen here. And then we're going to head out west once again on November 12th, as we are going to Petco Park, where we debuted last year in San Diego for the season finale. This time it's going to be just a normal regular season event in the second half of the year, as we're returning there after making our debut last year. Oh boy, what a wild finish that was to wrap up the year. Cannot wait to see what we're going to have this time around. And then we got another place we haven't gone to this late in the year, I don't think, as we're heading down to AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A regular stop in MTWS. Cannot wait to see the results of this event after last year's exciting event. And now for our Thanksgiving event. And for the first time ever on Thanksgiving, we're going to MTWS's home in Baltimore on November 23rd, the first ever Thanksgiving event in MTWS in the city. And oh boy, if I can do what I have in mind, I plan for racing, it is going to be wild. However, I can't guarantee it's going to happen yet because I've not done it before. But if it works, oh boy, racing's going to be wild. So tune in on Thanksgiving for MTWS in Baltimore. That is going to be insane. And then we're going to wrap up November with a schedule quirk, as we're once again heading to Canada, as a common place that we've gone to every year in MTWS. The Rogers Center in Toronto. The schedule quirk here, just like last year, this place we went to right after Thanksgiving. Remember last year, Thanksgiving in St. Louis, and then we did Toronto 3 days later? It's going to happen once again. Thanksgiving event in Baltimore, and then we're going to head up to Canada. That is wild, and hopefully we're going to see some great action to wrap up November, as we now get to December with our 7 events, which will be the record for the most events in a month in MTWS history. So we're going to start off December by heading down to the Alamo Dome on December 3rd. Our first time in the Alamo Dome since November 15th of 2015. It's going to be over 8 years since we last been there. A big floor. Cannot wait to see what we could do after 8 years away for the MTWS fans down here. Hope for some big action down there in December. And then on December 10th, we are going to head out west to Anaheim. Our first time in Anaheim since March 17th of 2019. And oh boy, cannot wait to see what they're going to do there after all these years away as we make our return to Anaheim. And then after that, we're going to make our final city and stadium debut on December 17th as we're going to head up to the Lebanon Valley Speedway in West Lebanon, New Jersey. Another speedway track we're looking forward to. And of course, since I know, because I made my custom West Lebanon 2022 track, that this place is huge. Cannot wait to think of maybe a unique racing style or something for this track and some big area for some big freestyle obstacles. Cannot wait for West Lebanon on December 17th, as this is the final debut of the season. The rest of the events we've been to in MTWS history. So then, on Christmas Eve of 2023, MTWS is going to head up to Denver, Colorado at Empower Field for our first regular season event there in that stadium. Although we were there back in 2021, this is the first regular season event we've been here. After 2 years away from the wild return we had 2 years ago, I cannot wait to see what we're going to do this year there to wrap up near the end of the season as we continue on with the schedule. And then we get to the event that originally wasn't going to be done, but of course, due to the schedule quirk, it had to be added, as on Christmas Day, we are going to head down to Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta for our return there from the August event last year. Now, of course, this wasn't originally going to be planned. It's going to be the first time ever in MTWS history where there were back-to-back events over days. Never happened before. There was really only one logical place to put a date for this event, especially with half the schedule already made by that point. So, yeah, it had to be Christmas, which this would make sense to be live, but it's going to be difficult to do it on Christmas with multiple NFL games. So last year was tough, too, doing the schedule on Christmas, and with the season finales coming up. But we'll see. But because of schedule quirk, Christmas Day on Monday is going to have an MTWS event that originally wasn't planned. And now to the season finales. So our East Coast season finale on December 31st is going to be at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Oh man, what a muddy field we had last year. I think it was the only event we had rain in last year, and all the slick action we had early on in the event. That is going to be the season finale, as it's going to be the first time ever that East Rutherford is going to host the season finale. And now for the final event of the regular season. And for the first time since August 23rd of 2015, MTWS is heading to Oakland for our season finale, as Oakland became like one of two stadiums, I think Baltimore's the only other one, that's had a season opener and finale. As the last time we were in Oakland, it was the 2015 West Coast season opener. This year, 2023, it's going to be the season finale for the West Coast. And that is the regular season schedule. And after that, of course, we wrap it up at State Farm Stadium for the third time, as in Glendale on January 27th of 2024 will be the 2023 MTWS Runners-Up Cup. The 16 trucks that failed to qualify for the championship will compete in one final event to try and get some bragging rights going into 2024. And then finally, on February 3rd, 2024, will be the 2023 MTWS Championship. Man, what an exciting championship hopefully will be after last year's crazy one, too. Man, it's going to be tough to top from last year. Will Nitro and Shadowrun defend their titles if they make it there? Or will one of the 22 other trucks try and get their first titles or multiple titles? I cannot wait to see. And with that, that is the schedule for the 2023 MTWS season. August 23rd, the season openers will be in Tampa and then Las Vegas. Philadelphia on August 27th. Houston on September 3rd. Foxborough on September 10th. New Orleans September 17th. Vancouver September 24th. Julian October 1st. DuQuoin October 8th. Detroit October 15th. The international event in Cardiff on October 22nd. Phoenix on October 29th. Orlando on November 5th. San Diego November 12th. Arlington November 19th. The Thanksgiving event in Baltimore on November 23rd. Toronto on November 26th. San Antonio on December 3rd. Anaheim on December 10th. West Lebanon on December 17th. Denver on December 24th. Atlanta on Christmas Day for the first ever Monday event in MTWS history, I believe, and back-to-back events. And of course, the season finale is on December 21st. Means very first will be East Rutherford for the East Coast, and then the West Coast, Oakland. And of course, we'll wrap it up then on January 27th of 2024 for the 2023 MTWS Runners-Up Cup, and then on February 3rd for the 2023 MTWS Championship. So yeah, guys, that is the schedule for the 2023 MTWS season. Hopefully later on near the end of the month or going into August, just like last year, I will have all the tracks finished, and then I'll show them all off and all that. And of course, by then, hopefully, we'll have the dates for the live events for possibly September, because like historically for MTWS, it was the season openers, the season finales, the Thanksgiving event, and then one event in September, October, an extra live event in November, December would be live. I don't know if I do an extra November, December event, because don't want to do as many live events to not bug people and all that. So we'll have to see on that, and then we'll have to decide what events it's going to be. So yeah, guys, see you all in August for the season openers in Tampa and Las Vegas, and for the upcoming 2023 MTWS season. Last year was huge coming back. Hopefully this year we'll have even bigger success. So see you all in August in Tampa and Las Vegas for the 2023 MTWS season.